Hello everyone, Drake Robinson here. I'm just gonna give my thoughts on this whole Piper Raquel thing. For those who don't know who Piper Raquel is, first off, I don't blame you. Yeah, I don't blame you in the sense that if you don't want to see privilege, horrible child exploitation, in its most obvious and blatant display, then do not watch Piper Raquel YouTube channel or anything related to that. I didn't even know the situation up until I want to say about a couple of days ago when I started doing my research when I heard about a lawsuit that's going on. So pretty much, Piper Raquel, uh, her mother in particular is being sued by all these kids who were a part of their squad, quote unquote, um, in regards to uh, financial situation, also exploitation situation of kids. Because that's what the blue pillars are known for. They're known for putting kids out there in compromising positions and just just discussing ways such as if you remember the Balenciaga ad where they were outwardly endorsing child porn. I mean, these people just have no shame at all. I mean, it is grotesque to the highest degree. What else do we expect from those folks, those privileged folks? That's all they do is exploit people. They don't matter who, child, adult, it don't matter. They'll just exploit them for their own financial purposes. And in Piper Raquel's case, it's specifically very bad because it's her own mother doing this. I mean, when I started doing more research, I literally was feeling myself getting physically ill. Like, from what I understand, Piper Raquel is like, what, 14, 15 years old? And she's out there, or I should say her mother is parading her out there as some, like, in these very tight, low-cut outfits, in these, in these very just disgusting, horrid attire that in my humblest of opinion, no 14 or 15-year-old should be wearing. And I watched the Inside Edition interview with some of the kids in the quote unquote squad. Um, well, former members of the squad, one of whom I believe is Piper Raquel's cousin, so that would be her mother's niece. Her sister or brother's child is actually suing them as well. So that tells you a lot as well about how they had to endure all this child abuse, because that's what it was at the end of the day. It was straight up abuse of kids, of minors. She would yell at them, say sexual things towards them, and just very like I said, I felt ill after doing all that stuff. That's time I can never get back. I wish I could, but I can't. Uh, you know, and this is the same woman, her mother, who, correct me if I'm wrong, was on tape actually kissing an underage boy. I forgot the age of the boy, but I know she was in her like mid 30s, and the boy was definitely underage. So how this woman is able to, just walk around freely, she should be locked up. And her camera guy also, he shouldn't be let off the hook either because he's an adult as well. He could have said something about this, but he didn't. That makes him complicit, and all the other parents who are complicit in this exploitation of children, they all need to be locked up and have the key thrown away. And like I said, I can't really fault Piper Raquel herself because I believe she's like only 14, 15. She's not even at legal age to emancipate herself. I believe emancipation in the United States is, I believe, 16. So, like, yeah, 16, I believe. And if Piper Raquel was smart, if she was a smart person, she would emancipate herself from her mother immediately. That's what I would do. If my own mother paraded me out there as some sort of sex symbol for a bunch of perverted men, because let's be honest here, you know, her, wearing those outfits and like the thumbnails of her videos and stuff like that, you don't think her mother approved of that? Her mother, she's a minor, so she doesn't have control of the YouTube channel. Her parents do. Her legal guardian does. At the end of the day, it's like with every child, YouTube, or just any social media in general. If you're below a certain age, you don't have access. You don't manage it. You know what I'm saying? So her mother is giving the okay for that, and her mother is parading her out there for a bunch of perverted blue pillars, and strictly for monetary gain. This isn't even for children anymore. I don't think that type of content that she's putting up. It's strictly for the perverted blue pillars out there. Um, and it just it turns my stomach just thinking about it. It honestly does. And like I said, yeah, strictly for monetary gain, strictly for publicity, strictly for moving up in the ranks. Because if you noticed, in one video I watched years ago, she was in like an apartment, but now ever since she started to gain steadily, she's now in these big houses and they have these big night cars and stuff like that. All this materialistic garbage, that that's strictly what in my humblest of opinion, her mother cares about. It's not her at all. It's not her image at all. Like those images are out there forever. Like nothing goes away from the internet at all. And so the fact that her mother would put her in this position to be looked at a certain way by people, random people who she doesn't know at all. Her only child, from what I understand, Piper Raquel is her only kid, which means that she should realistically, you would think, would be 20 times more protective and more, just more, what's the word I'm looking for? More protective, more, watchful, especially of how, her only kid is being presented online, but apparently not. Apparently, if it benefits her in the long run, that's all she cares about. Money, power, well, influence, stuff like that. And that's what these kids are suing for. They felt they were being, abused and neglected and stuff like that. That's just grotesque. I'm actually proud of these kids. I'm proud they're taking a stance against this, that this isn't okay. And as far as their parents go, I don't know why they weren't watchful of their kids. I heard one parent say that she wasn't even allowed to be on there, which boggles my mind. Like, I don't care if, look, I don't care how, if you're, I guess if you're at a party and stuff like that, you wouldn't watch your children, especially if they're on YouTube and stuff like that. You really wouldn't watch them and make sure everything is only up and up. I didn't get that at all. That sounded kind of like complicity to me, but I'm not going to get on to that. But yeah, back to the emancipation thing. Yeah, so Piper Raquel was smart. As soon as she turned 16, she would emancipate herself from her mother and cut her mother out, like, permanently. Because it's obvious that her mother doesn't care about her at all. She cares about the money that Piper makes her, and, the materialistic garbage that, the blue pillars care so much about. It's just, she would do all those things once she turned 16 and, just cut all those toxic people out of her life. She, she could go live with her freaking cousin. Her cousin who is suing, she seemed to have more sense, obviously than her own mother and her parents and stuff like that. So, just cut your mother out of her life, because she is a toxic, horrible human being, like all blue pillars are. She cares more about fame and attention than her own only child. and parading her, like I said, parading her child out there to be looked at in a disgusting manner by people, and it's permanently on the internet. I mean, that's akin to child abuse, in my humblest of opinions. Um, she's also, I would go so far as to say a predator, because some of the kids were saying like she was saying sexual stuff to them, and she's on camera kissing an underage kid. So I would classify her as a predator as well. She needs to be locked away and thrown away the key, and everyone who was complicit in the damaging of these minors' heads and stuff like that, emotionally, all that stuff, they need to be thrown in jail as well. But they probably will never be, because the blue pillars, the privileged blue pillars, they look out for their own. And unfortunately, we live in a society that protects the blue pillars and stuff like that. So probably nothing much will come from this, at least not jail time, which he definitely deserves. But those are just my 2 cents on this whole Piper Raquel situation. It just is disgusting all around. You see how the blue pillars are, like right in your face with the disgusting stuff they do. They don't care how far they'll go. They'll degrade their own children out there as a symbol of just all these disgusting things for the delightment of strictly only other blue pillars. And that's just an endless cycle of disgustingness, of just depravity. There's no line with them, but we all know that. All right, those are my 2 cents. Well, yeah, my 2 cents on this whole situation. Disgusting, repugnant. I have no other words. I'm out.